Hi everyone. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. I have not defected to the dark side. I'm joking. Uh, as much as I adore Electrolux, Electrolux is my brand. I nicknamed myself a one brand B word, which I'm not going to say on here. Don't want to get struck off. But I do have a soft spot for these two cleaners. We have, and bear in mind, I'm no expert, so the purpose of this is not to start talking about the pluses and the minuses of Hoover Turbopower. Not at all. I'm going to leave that to people that know what they're talking about. I'm just going to show the two that I've acquired, and in the case of this Wedgwood green one, totally restored now. And this one I've recently acquired. Now, this is a replacement for one that I did have, that I did restore, but it got a few faults and things on it. This came up for sale from another collector, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to have it because it is a family vacuum, which I shall explain. So, my auntie, she had this U2602. She got it in 1992, and the following year I stayed with them down South London, and I got to use it. It's the first time I'd used an upright, believe it or not, because we were a cylinder household, and I loved it on the carpets. I wasn't impressed by the tools, but it's a memory that stayed with me. And in fact, my auntie kindly gave me her instruction booklet that she'd saved because she moved on to Dyson and Miele and things like that. But again, I'm not sure if the camera will focus enough, but at the top here, it's got purchased 19th of June 1992. Although I don't know where from. It would have been somewhere Bromley, Beckenham, West Wickham type area. And I think it's had some work done in 1994 as well. But that cleaner lasted about 7 or 8 years, and then she replaced it. So from enjoying using it, I thought I need to have one of these because they're a sort of an iconic sort of design. Iconic being, oh, let's just take what we had before and stick a hose on the side. And when we come to talking about hoses attached to vacuum cleaners, and specifically the 600 series from Electrolux, coming soon. I'm nearly there with those, so you'll see those in a week or two. So, as I say, they were really popular. I seem to see a lot of them. Saw a lot of these as well, and the earlier model. Was it the 2194? I'm saying that as I'm reading the booklet because the auntie that had this one also had one of these first. And on the back, yeah, it was put again. Sorry if it's not going to pick up, but it was purchased from J&H Appliances, Westmoreland Road, Bromley, on the 20th of April 1985. So this is quite good, and this effectively, tell me if I'm wrong, is pretty much the same machine as this U2332. This is a 1986 model. I think the serial number refers to 612. So I don't know if that's 12 is the month or if it's the week, but it's 1986 anyway. This one is 106, I think it is. So 91, because I think this came out in 1989, and this was 85, 86-ish it came out, I think, just after this. Like I say, no expert, so pay no attention. So whilst we've got the book for the Lilac, although it's not the same machine that came with the book, we've got this book, if anything goes wrong with this one, which I know it's a different colour, but it's effectively the same. So this one I have shown briefly before. I'd cleaned it all out, but I hadn't done anything to the motor because I didn't know what to do. I've since learnt, and I won't be doing any more, put it that way, but I'm pleased that I managed to strip it all down and clean up and replace and lubricate what needed to be, including the roller. It's got a new roller, although I've got some new bearings that came recently and I need to change those on that. It's still a little grab, it's nothing like it was, so that runs beautifully. I have the toolkit at the back here for this machine, it's in a rather battered box, and you'll have all seen these before. How do I get into it? Is it this way? Oh yes, it is. Turn it round, boy. There we go. So we have crevice tool with these horrible, I don't know what you call them, pit fittings or something. These are exactly the same we had with our Power Glide when I was a kid. Yes, this. I mean, it's fine, but it's these ridiculous things. And you see here, that's snapped on our Power Glide. So you used to have to do this. To clean the stairs, you'd put it in, and you'd have to hold it, and you'd be doing it like this. And if you forgot and you went forward, whoop, out it came. I don't like the fact that the hose goes over the tool. I'd rather the hose go into the tools, like Electrolux. But you get a stretch hose, which, you know, it's fine. And an extension tube. And then this horrid pan converter. And I won't do it, but it goes underneath this here. And the suction's diverted. So it's really nice to have. I feel like I've done my duty. I've paid my dues to Hoover by having a couple of machines. Some of for me, they're certainly some of the best ones. They're the ones I like the most, I should say, because I know nothing about the others. So I'll give this one a quick go, and I'll also give this one a quick go, and I'll show the tools in use. Interestingly, let me see if I can bring you down a bit nearer, because I remember being told this by my auntie. I'll tell you what, let's hold it up with care. Now, when she allowed me to use it, she still had the sticker on here as well of how to engage the tools. And you see at the top, it says, first switch off cleaner. It says at the top, before you slide this bar across, or this knob, slide this knob over to the extreme side. Now, I see so many people and the thing's on and they tilt it back and they pull it over. And I'm sure it doesn't really do that much harm, but it made me wonder, because sometimes I've seen where you pull it over and the suction's really bad is because this plate thing that's inside that slides over to block the channel isn't engaging properly. And I wonder, is it because when there's all this suction, is it being pulled off kilter? I don't know. Other people will know far more than me, but just saying that now just made me wonder, so I'd like to know. But yeah, I'll just plug them in, and then for one time only, because the rest of the time it's going to be Electrolux, you'll see a couple of Hoovers being used in my house. And I can say Hoover because that's what they are. I'm guilty, just as everybody else is, of saying Hoover instead of vacuum cleaner. But these are Hoover. They're really good on the carpet. I have to say, they leave really good brushing track mark type things. The tool use, don't bother. If you want an upright with tools, you either get something modern like Sebo or whatever, or for vintage wise, I don't think you can beat the 500 series, especially the later ones. It's just so easy. Yes, you've got to have the things separate, you've got to get them out your cupboard, but once they're there, it's just quick, plug in, twist, and off you go. These, you have to keep hold of the machine because it feels like it's going to topple over, and especially as they're more fragile plastic, there's the fear that they might drop and crack, and they would crack easily, I think. So anyways, I'll stop waffling and I'll just do a quick demo. No more talking, I'll just show them. cool. Yeah, I mean, if you've got to do a bit of cobweb removing, yeah, fine. But apart from that, bit of a waste of time. But yeah, there we go. She's not wound up, but Turbopower U2602 from 1991. Nice to have. Family vacuum. Back soon with Electrolux, don't you worry.